Hey everybody, welcome back to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast with your hosts Jake Saldati and Chad Roffer on episode 200. 200. It's crazy to think about.
Congrats, Chad.
Congrats to you.
It's been almost 4 years.
Yeah.
In a minute. And we get to celebrate.
July 2nd will be 4 years.
Yeah. With Tommy Mendonca.
What a great guest for this, too.
Yeah.
You got the College World Series coming up.
Just had supers.
Yeah.
Part of the underdogs.
What was that? The underdogs to what?
The
Wonder Dogs.
Wonder Dogs,
right.
yeah.
So what better way to bring 200 in with Tommy Mendonca? Tom, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for reaching out to me. And
This is kind of our fault. It's taken.
Well, he's here now in Clovis right now for a while, so that's helped out. I mean, he wasn't here before, so we'll thank Darcy.
Yeah, and the baby
and
Dawson.
the baby Dawson for that, because he's back here in Clovis for the time being. So, and then we got to hang out with you a lot during the Mountain West Championship.
Yeah.
So, this has been a long time coming. You are just a very hard person to get a hold of. And
we did the group on Zoom during COVID, which was fun. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. But this is, again, like Chad said, long overdue. Turlock High School to Fresno State, 2008 College World Series most outstanding player. Do you remember your numbers in the World Series by any chance?
Well, I remember my final number. I think it was 278 with 19 and like 58 ribbies or something like that. But I remember, I had 4 home runs. I probably hit 278 in College World Series and 15 RBIs or something, I think.
you actually hit 285.
285
in 2008.
In the so
27 and 70.
In College World Series, you're pretty much spot on. 276, 4 bombs, 11 ribs, 4 runs.
Yeah.
And played an outstanding third base.
That was the easy part.
As a sophomore, no less. We'll get into more of that stuff. Also, second round pick to the Texas Rangers that in 2009 played in the U.S. Collegiate National Team, won a gold medal, Pan American Games, also a silver medal. And we'll jump into some of your. We got to shoot some shit though a little bit before we dive into your stuff. One locally, Chad, that happened while we've been off for about a week is Buchanan High School baseball. Coach Fonts has stepped down, and I believe Coach Marsubian is also stepping away from Buchanan baseball. Long time. Yeah, I don't know how long Sub's been there. At least, 15 years plus?
At least. He was there with Donald.
Yeah. And then Coach Fonts was a longtime coach at Central, spent some time at Fresno State, was an assistant at Buchanan for a minute, and has been the coach there the last 5 years. Stepped down. Coach Fonts done a tremendous job there. Great baseball coach. I've always enjoyed him, always been a big fan of how he does things and operates, and hopefully he can enjoy his time away from the game, as well as Coach Marsubian, another Bulldog. But the questions keep asking of who's the next guy. I don't know if you saw that stuff. Do you even want to get into?
There's no next guy that can. I just don't. The names that are going out there, there's just not a guy. The one guy that I think should be the next guy can't, because of the Clovis Unified doesn't have a.
Which I don't understand the whatever.
What's the side rule?
Yeah,
whatever.
the interdistrict transfer thing. So he can't leave. You're talking about Coach Smith?
I think Ryan Smith is the perfect one for it. Look what he's done at Clovis East the last couple of years. He's really brought the fundraising and everything that you're supposed to into Clovis East and made it a winning program. He's a Buchanan Bear. He played there during the dynasty years. I guess winning's always been winning, but it was a legit dynasty years with his time there. So he was coached, by Tom Donald. He knows what it takes to win at that program. And I think that's what they need. They need a Buchanan Bear to take over.
No, I'm with you. I love Pappy. I love the name, Pags throughout, probably the leader.
He can't.
I think he would destroy it. I think and in a good way. I think he'd be great at it.
And I don't think he would.
You don't think so?
I don't think he would, because he can't do what he does.
You don't.
He can't be Jason Pappy at Buchanan.
Do you think the people will keep that?
He can't. He's old school. I mean, talk about the last old school coach that, can MF somebody out at practice and get into somebody's ass. That's Pappy. He can't do that at Buchanan. Somebody's going to cry, tell their mommy, they're going to get mad, and the AD's going to have to do something. That he can't be Jason Pappy. That's what should he be? Yes, he could go there, win, do whatever, keep the tradition going, but he can't be him. And I think for him going somewhere where he's going to have to change as a person this late in his career would not be good for him.
Interesting. I mean, I see that too. And I like some of the stuff I heard. And again, it's all rumor. Like, it's all hearsay, but people talking about when Buchanan lost or that run through the playoffs and people were pissed at how some things played out in that championship game. I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Well, go apply then.
Yeah. I think Batesel,
right?
Batesel would always say that, right?
Yeah.
Go get yourself a team.
Go get a team. We'll play on Tuesday. And
I don't want to speculate or who I've talked to. Have we talked to people? Yes. Have we gotten names from people? Sure. We'll just wait and see. They don't even have an athletic director right now. So, we don't care about breaking the story.
I'll throw this out here because nobody really has. Does Tom go back?
No, I don't think so. I mean, could he? I guess, but
new AD, Gambrell's gone. So the whole, shenanigans that went down.
Do they hire within? Like, that's what I'm saying. If it's not somebody like do
you hire a first-time coach, though?
I don't know.
I don't see Buchanan doing that.
Yeah.
Do you hire Matt Garza? He threw that out there.
He did throw that out there.
Again, I don't think Matt Garza could be Matt Garza if he goes to Buchanan.
No way.
He will be run out of there real quick.
I did like him jumping in though,
soft.
and I like Garza a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be fun to see, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of names. I wouldn't even be surprised to see somebody not from here be a guy. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll wait and see. We'll play it out again. They don't even have an athletic director. So the other thing we want to do is shout out Alec Gamboa. Got the call up to AAA from Tulsa this weekend. Was pitching in El Paso with Oklahoma City for the Dodgers. 3 scoreless innings. Said he was feeling good, excited for him. Both Chad and I were lucky enough to coach him in high school to see what kind of athlete he is, and just happy for him. Hopefully, if I was telling him, to keep pitching that way, you're going to force their hand. Like, they're going to make you. You're going to have a reason to stay. Like, they're not going to be able.
They
to
made
send
some
you
moves
down.
because they had some injuries,
right?
And then now you got to force their hand to keep you there.
I mean, if you're 96, 97, and you're, getting guys out, how do you send that back down? Especially with an organization that's not really lefty stacked. So no, I was happy for him. He welcomed in AAA facing Nelson Cruz right out the gate. So got him out there. And then Fresno State news: Eddie Saldivar hit the transfer portal last week and is coming to Fresno State from Long Beach. So that's a good get, I think, for Ovi. Kid can hit. We always had problems getting him out while he was in high school in Memorial. And then also today was Noah Beal leaving UNLV to come back to Fresno, or come home to Fresno State. So that's 2 really good gets. I think there's another one possibly in the works I'd heard. I don't want to talk on that yet. But Tom, I don't know if we talked about this at the Mountain West thing. While it's good that we're getting guys out of the portal, and Chad and I talked about it last week, you kind of have to in this day and age of how recruiting is going. But how do you feel about the portal personally?
It's a lot. I don't know. Did we have portal when I was there?
No,
I think it was 8.
You just either left or
Yeah, you didn't have sit out or nothing, right? I don't think so.
I think did you have to sit out?
I don't know.
Or was it approved?
The coach
by,
had to approve the transfer.
Oh
the
yeah,
leave.
signed your release. I think. And what they would do is you can't go to anybody within the division. I think.
Yeah, unless they signed off on it.
Correct. Yeah. I think that was usually the stipulations. But here's the thing: coaches over recruit nowadays, so there's got to be a lot more portal. And COVID screwed all this logjam up. I mean, I think the transfer portal is something that needs to be done now because kids are just getting stuck. But then again, that could be the kid's own fault. Hey, I want to go to UCLA. Go to one of their practices. There's probably 7 shortstops there, and only 1 might have a scholarship. There's no way you're going to sniff the field. I mean, so it has to become whether the kid's actually going there to play or going there to say, hey, I'm at UCLA, like putting that in their belt.
Or they're just, you know what, I'm an academic guy here, and like baseball is a priority.
Let's be honest,
but
how
it's
many
not.
baseball players are academic guys?
I mean, there's a few. If you're going to Stanford or UCLA,
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
you know,
I
you're,
guess
you know
you're
what I
right.
mean?
that's hard to get away. Yeah, but I don't know. I think the portal's a great thing right now just because COVID and how everything's all jacked up. But go to a power JC or NAIA. I mean, I think JCs are a lot better baseball right now because all those kids who are log jammed are going there. You know, I mean, I always thought when I was going, I wanted to go D1, but then after everything's done, shit, if somebody gives you a scholarship, go. How many kids die to get a scholarship? I mean, there's a kid at a JC wishing he had a scholarship where you're at or trying to get better to take your spot. I mean, it's just a lot different now.
I like it. And then obviously we got to shout out ORU, Chad's alma mater. Game 1. Go ahead and run it, Chad. I'm sure you watched all 3 very closely.
No, I like to hear your.
Game 1.
I was stressed out.
Game 1 walked off late. Game 2, same thing, opposite though. ORU walks off Oregon. And then game 3 yesterday, the circus or shit show kind of came to town late. You saw
The shit show was there all weekend.
I mean, it was a wasn't the best. Let's say pitched. It wasn't the best series. I don't think that was played. It was entertaining to watch, but as far as baseball is concerned, I mean, you kind of saw the bullpen that there was nothing left for Oregon.
Yeah. I mean, there was nothing left for ORU. They walked 17. They gave up 19 homers in like the tournament so far. It's like that's tough. But I just think what changed it was I think Oregon got a little cocky game 2, and it showed at the end of the game. And you know who it showed by? It showed by their leader in the clubhouse. And I talked to Ovi actually after the game because he talked to me after each game, and because his buddy's the pitching coach at Oregon. So he was like, I don't know who to pull. I'm going for Oregon, and you know, obviously Bates is an ORU
Bates,
guy.
yeah.
So it's like, and Bates, I gave him update. I'll tell the Bates story after this, but he's like, when they showed Waz in the 9th, and he had a smile on his face because they were about to win, that changed everything.
Baseball gods.
The baseball gods are real. I'm telling you, I know you guys know this. They are real. Because when I saw that, I was like, oh, this motherfucker thinks it's over already. And anybody that's a baseball person thought and said the same damn thing. And when ORU pulled it out, that's why it happened.
Are you a baseball gods guy?
Yeah, yeah. On superstition. I mean, it's like they always say they're using it in I'm sure it was in basketball too, but the ball doesn't lie. I mean, it ain't over until it's over.
Well, and you saw, I mean, Stanford that had that.
Oh, God.
You know what? Up
Oof.
3 or 4 in the 9th and give up 5, and
Yeah, that was.
you know anything can happen. You know, the last 3 outs are tough to get. Obviously, I mean, even ORU's guy with the 6-run lead was struggling to find the strike zone.
Yeah.
And it's like you could give up a grand slam and still have a 3-run lead, dude, or 2-run. You know what I mean? Pound the zone. And it's crazy. Like it seems like every year, I feel like it's getting worse. Like you see guys every year struggling to throw strikes. It's harder and harder to throw strikes. And I don't know if they're so focused on like the mechanic shit they work on or what. Like I was telling Chad, like whatever happened, just getting up there and throwing strike. Like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Pound the zone.
I don't know. Maybe it's all the analytic bullpens they run, and they're looking at all these numbers rather than, you know what? I know that number doesn't look right, but I felt good on that pitch. Yeah. You know, like you're in the cage and you hit a line drive and they're like, oh, man, that was only 88 exit velo. And you're just like, nowadays the kids are like, oh, man, that was only 88. But back then we're like, fuck that. That's a line drive up the middle. I'll take it.
You barreled it.
You know what I mean? So
felt-
I think numbers now, there's too much of numbers that these kids are thinking about rather than just go do what you do. And another thing that our 06 group we had a group that we were talking like the whole entire game. And we talked about it when Oregon brought that freshman lefty in with 6 1/3 innings and just walked 3 in a row. Are they really developing? You're putting a guy in with 6 1/3 innings in the biggest game in your season. Why does he only have 6 1/3 innings? If he's possibly going to pitch in the biggest game of the season, why does he only have a 6 1/3 innings pitched?
So you're saying during the season,
Yes,
you need to get
because
more adequate innings.
you know as well as anybody with the long run you guys had and every losers game you guys were in, every single guy in the bullpen on the pitching staff will throw in the postseason. Every single one. So why are they not throwing during the season? Let's just go throw them out in front of 5,000 fans in the biggest moment of not only his life, but the team's season right now is relying on a kid that threw 6 innings and he probably threw like 3 months ago. You know what I mean? Like that's what bothers me about that is like they had like 5 freshman pitchers. Oregon, the big tall lanky guy couldn't throw a strike.
Yeah. No, they struggled. It was hard to watch.
But are they pitching during the season? Probably not, because they're not worried about them getting innings because they're winning with their starters and
they're utilizing 6-7 guys throughout the season instead of the 15
that's the problem, because now you're going to be playing 4 games in 2 days or 3 games in 2 days, 4 in 3 days, and those guys are going to have to pitch. It's going to happen, and that was the biggest factor where I think Oregon was hurt by that. And I think ORU being ORU, they don't have a lot of the power arms like a Power 5 school. Same as Fresno State. You utilize everybody because everybody's different. They're all fucking weird. At Oregon at a Power 5, you got 4 guys that are exactly the same that are going to pitch every freaking weekend. You know what I mean? So I think ORU had the advantage that way, where all the pitchers they brought in were guys that pitched throughout the entire season. So the moment might not have been as big for them, but yeah, they weren't around the zone. They still walk guys. But I do think they had more experience, and I think that's what hurt Oregon in the end.
We talked too about imagine if Oral Roberts played like they played in the regional.
Oh yeah,
they didn't really play. Oregon didn't play well either. Like both teams didn't play the way they played in regionals. It was a little bit sloppier.
It was sloppy. And that's why it was funny too, because Oral Roberts wasn't even Oral Roberts. It was tough.
Now in 06, I'm going to ask you this.
Yeah.
Did you guys have gummy worms at 06?
No, we actually had sunflower seeds. So that thing, Tuffy, so the third base coach, was our first base coach back then, because and Fulmer was our third base coach, the head coach, because he was our hitting coach. So Tuffy was our first base coach. He gave us seeds because back then nobody really had turf fields, so you can eat seeds on the field. Now all the turf fields, they don't allow seeds anywhere. So
it's un-American.
I wonder if Tuffy told him to do that or
just something different. You don't know why they do that now? I'm just curious if you knew why.
It's every hit.
It's just a little
seed. Well, ours was like seed. You know how you say that when you hit a line driver or laser? He would just give us a seed, which we would just eat the one seed or whatever. So the gummy bears or the gummy worms is for just a hit. They get a hit and get on base.
Did you guys have anything? Dogs, like anything in the dugout, anything?
Not that
Pat Ware would just throw dirt in their face. Suck it up.
Yeah, take a chew after the game. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think we might have got those dog paws after the game, the stickers. I think we did that year. I can't remember. It's been a while ago, but yeah, we didn't do seeds and stuff. I don't think we even.
Everybody's got their own little thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hey, congrats. For second time in program history, right?
Yeah, 1978, when they only had a regional.
Yeah.
So
no supers, right? Those
no
came
supers
out,
back then.
03? Or 91?
I don't even know.
91, I think.
91, yeah.
Coach Bates, alumni, Hefner, who you played with at ORU, now the Mets pitching coach. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there's a plenty of ORU alum. Those are guys that I knew of off the top of my head, and you included.
Yeah, so Bates, can I tell the story?
Yeah, tell the Bates story.
So, he's in Montana, and you won't find him. He told me to keep him updated on everything going on, because after the regional, I didn't do anything during the regional, but afterwards I just said, hey, they won, whatever. And he's like, when do they play again? I told him, and he actually got Fulmer's number because he wanted to congratulate him. And he's like, all right, update me, on the game. So every inning I'm like, after one score, this is what happened. And then what was it on the third day? I said, it's 3-1 and we're up 3-1. And then I come back and said, after 3-3, 2-run homer. He's like, yeah, I turned the TV on. The guy hit a 2-run homer, and so I turned the TV off. and he goes,
superstitions.
He goes, that was the only at bat I've ever watched this year, except for I turned the TV on the Mountain West Championship game and or with San Jose State, and the guy hit a 2-run homer against Fresno State to take the lead. He's like, so I've only watched 2 at-bats this whole season, and both teams hit homers for the opposing team to either take the lead or tie it. He's like, I'm done watching TV.
That's funny. Oh, my gosh.
So he was really excited, too. But it's always good. I reached out to him in the regional thing. I haven't talked to him in forever just because I don't really want to bother. You know, he's enjoying retirement. And nobody needs to know anything about him. He likes it that way. Yeah. So that's all I gotta say. He's enjoying it, and it was good to see him. You know, he sent me some pictures and said it's really good to see him and what he's doing, and he's okay, man.
Yeah,
like, it was fun to talk to him again, though.
Shout out Coach Batesel. And then last night, Stanford. This is in the news today. Stanford wins the game 2 against Texas. Quinn Matthews, their guy, goes CG. The reason he's in the news is it was a 156 pitch complete game. With your season on the line, that was their guy. People are crucifying Coach Esker, Coach Eager, all of them, Stanford. You know, some of the stuff I saw on Twitter was he'll now need TJ. They ruined his draft stock. Coach should be fired. Granted, it's a lot of pitches. But I go back and if Fresno State has their book of like records you can go look at online. Go look at the innings pitched for some of the seasons for some of those guys, like John Sayles and you know Hoover. Go look at those numbers.
Well, I mean, even Bobby Jones told us that, you know, when he'd go back in, he'd be like, "Hey, what's my pitch number at?" "Oh, it's at 95," and he'd run it back to
He'd
like 70.
change the clicker.
You know what I mean? So I mean,
I wanted to get your guys' take on.
Guys were going full CGs no matter the pitches, and I think there's more Tommy Johns now than back then because I just don't think the arm care, or they're not used to it. Maybe I don't know.
Thoughts. I just wanted thoughts on one, the pitch count and people crucifying them, considering their season was on the line.
Well, why didn't they crucify him that game? He threw 126, then came back in 3 days and threw 66 pitches. They didn't crucify him then.
And I don't know who these people. It could be non-baseball people.
Yeah, I mean,
pissed off. Listen, the Oregon kid, the lefty, threw 9 pitches. And his arm's done. Whatever happened, and he was crying on the mound.
Oh yeah, the Oregon kid.
9 pitches. So to say that,
and that was after he started. He threw 60-some pitches on. He
started
the game 1.
One well wishes to that kid. I hope it's nothing serious.
It's Tommy John.
I mean,
the way it was Tommy.
It's hard to watch. Like it made me upset watching it. Like
but you ask Underwood, you ask Pfister, you ask any of those guys, and they will not give you the ball. They don't want the ball taken from him.
Well, the kid didn't want to come out of the game.
That's what I'm saying. He's the Pac-12 pitcher of the year. He's your horse. He's your guy. He knows how his body feels, if his arm's tired, anything like that. And that's where I think the coaches need to go off of that. How do you feel? Are the guys even catching up to you? It seemed like he got stronger later. You know what I mean? And if that happens, like, I'm going to trust my guy. You're my guy for a reason. You know, so...
The only thing is the way he turned his back on Eager. I didn't like that when
he did it twice.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, because I played ball with Eager. He was Merced.
Yeah,
and I think he's a year older than me. I played against him at Turlock, but I was like, you can't do that. Obviously, Eager was going out there for show. He wasn't going to take him out, or the only thing he was going to say, hey, this is absolutely your last batter. But like you said, I mean, he's a lefty. They can go 400 pitches. They're weird. I mean, it's just weird.
Well, and listen, Coach Eager and Coach Esker are not in the business of hurting kids.
Yeah, they're not stupid.
Like, you know what I mean? They're not. Yeah. They're not out here trying to endanger. That's what it's abuse. This is borderline abuse. Go watch some fucking travel teams.
Go watch 10-year-olds throw 90 pitches.
Yeah. Go watch a team with 13 kids on the roster that are 12 on a Sunday and Saturday pitching
5 games.
6 games.
Or go watch a 7-year-old get hit playing football.
Yeah.
That's abuse. I mean,
right? Yeah, Pop. I was thinking the same thing.
I mean,
well, I was even simpler than that, just football in general.
Exactly. I mean, I didn't play till 7th grade. I mean, I'm dumber than a box of rocks probably, but it ain't from that. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, I don't know. I was talking to, it's funny, I called Ovi this morning. I was talking to him about that. I go, what did you think? He goes, and then he brought up, and I was on the same page with him, and I brought up, like, you know, in Japan, they throw like 189 pitches, go throw a bullpen the next day of 60 pitches. Then 2 days later, they're throwing 120 pitches again. I go, why aren't they hurt? Why aren't they getting, you know, crucified for that? Is it just American baseball? Why is there a 100 pitch count number? Is it because, hey, that's triple digits? Now he needs to come out? Why isn't it 89 pitches? Why isn't it 70 pitches? I get it for younger kids. I totally understand because Ovi was talking to me about it. I said, I 100% agree with the pitch count for young kids. They're still developing. But this kid's, a senior, let's say 22, 23 years old. Obviously, he's still developing, but he's pretty much well matured. He should know his body, like you said. He's going to say, hey, my arm, I know my body better than the coach. But he's old enough. If he's doing his stuff right, he can go as long as he wants, in my opinion. As long as you do your rehab, as long as you lift, as long as you're staying on top of stuff. But why is the magic number about 100 pitches now? Is it because science said something? Is it because, like you said, analytics? Oh, his rotational spin on his changeup split, whatever the hell it is. I don't understand that. Like I said, now baseball isn't based on, oh, this kid's got raw talent. Oh, shit, let's plug it into this. Let's see him hit off this one machine that says, oh, he hit the ball off a machine that's going 78 miles an hour, 110. Shit, that kid's going to be good. Fuck, it's a fastball down the dick. You should be able to hit it 110. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's shit. It's just simple stuff. If you're good enough, you're going to hit the ball 110.
My favorite is the measuring the exit velo off the tee.
Yeah, exactly. Like, holy shit, this ball's sitting still. You should be able to crush this thing. Put it right in your zone. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. Because back then, all it becomes is like pitchers. They snap their head if they hit 100 on the radar gun. Now kids are focusing on hitting the ball 100 instead of where it goes. I mean, all it is it's a mile per hour or radar gun for hitters to snap back and see, oh, I hit that foul, but damn, it was 109. That was so cool. Like,
and it could still be out number one.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
You didn't get on base.
Yeah, you still got to find the grass. You still got to find the holes. You got
to hit.
Yeah, you go gap to gap. Not I'm going to pull it and it's going to be 112. But man, those scouts are going to tell me I'm going to be in the big leagues because big league average is 109 and you hit 112 and blah blah blah. Just the kid's raw, not like in the 80s. That kid's going to be raw. Kevin Youkilis would have never played because he had an unorthodox stance. That's not normal. He can't play. I mean, it's just, I don't get it. I get it, but I don't. But maybe that's because I'm old school and I never had it. I don't give a shit how hard you hit the ball. If you hit 400 and the ball's coming off your bat 79 miles an hour, he better have a job.
They don't see all the exit velos. They're going to see the 400.
Yeah.
As they should. Mm-hmm. Right?
They should, but heaven forbid in that one analytic column is whatever the hell they look. Oh, he'll never play.
Well, I was telling Chad there was one that's like, listen, there's one kid had like double-digit home runs, like 15, 16 jacks.
Yeah, it was the first baseman for Oregon.
And like 35, 36 ribbies. I'm like, well, your RBIs are from home runs, I'm assuming. Yeah. But I've been hitting 240. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, we talk about being complete hitter on here all the time. Like, I don't know. That's what I prefer. But
that's out of the game. Look at Joey Gallo. Lifetime at like 202. But he hit jacks. Got paid
a lot of money.
$100 million.
Yeah.
I mean, if they would have told me, hey, I don't give a shit what you hit, go hit jacks. Shit, I might be in the big leagues. I might have made it. Now it was like, this guy's body looks better than yours. Oh, he's got this. And I'm like, what the hell? What does it matter what my body looks like?
Yeah.
Like,
how does he play?
Yeah, he's like, he passed
me.
You
used to have to do a bunch of things really well.
Yeah.
Just weird. I don't know.
It's changed a little. I mean,
we could stay on it for days, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I want to get into you a little bit here. Turlock High School. Just from Turlock High School to Fresno State. Were you heavily recruited? How did this come to be?
I was more recruited for football than baseball. I have 2 shoebox fulls of football letters and maybe a little sliver of baseball letters. Football, I was quarterback, safety, and punter. I got more offers for being a punter than anything.
Hey, it's an offer.
I love it.
It's an offer.
I have some big name schools that.
So punting for the Dogs was out of the question?
I got more stuff from Pat Hill and I went to a camp as a quarterback and stuff for them.
Hey Bates, what's
the only reason I got recruited was because Diamond King Showcase at Chachansky Park, who Tom Donald put it on, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Let's try it. And I mean, by no means I was a rich kid. We we had money. I was raised good with what we had. And so, yeah, okay, we'll take a chance. I think I was a junior. And so I went, skinny kid, 6 foot, maybe 140, 150 pounds. I pitched and I was a shortstop in high school. Pitching, I topped out at 95, so it was me and Jared Thompson at 95 on top of it. And Jared Thompson went to Fresno State, lasted a year, then left. And from the shortstop, I threw 89 across the diamond, hit a triple, hit a home run and stuff. Matt Curtis was in the stands. That was the only first time I ever talked to anybody here. It was crazy, and it was in a tunnel. I don't know. It was weird. I was like, oh, cool, yeah, whatever. I don't. Hi. I know Tom Brandstatter. He's a quarterback at Fresno State. He went to Turlock High, and say, all right, well, we're gonna call you in a week. Blah 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 blah. Because I visited UOP, UC Davis, Cal. I always wanted to go to Cal or Stanford, but Cal was, Jesus Christ, no chance. Cal treated me like shit. So I was like, you know what? Whatever. And we played him, beat the shit out of him. So I was happy.
Wasn't Esker there?
I think so, yeah. I couldn't stand it, to be honest. Well, and my views are a little different, but that's a different story. I wouldn't have lasted long. And then Stanford, I just wasn't smart enough, obviously. So, but I'm glad I picked Fresno State. I almost turned it down. I was on a golf course, Stevenson golf course. I got a call. I called Curtis, and I told him, hey, look, I might go to Modesto JC. They said, I'd be everyday starter. I'd get probably 200, 300 at bats. I go, they're telling me that's going to be good, because I had no clue. I was a naive kid. I had no clue about how college worked or whatnot. And Curtis flat out said, I go, they're offering me a job. Like, they're telling me I'm going to start. He goes, I can't tell you you're going to start. I can't tell you can't. But what I can tell you is it's your job to lose as of right now. And it was either third or left field or whatever was available. I'm like, he goes, I can't tell you this because I'd be lying to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't tell you 100%, but come here, and if you do what all the coaches think you can do, you'll be starting every single day as a freshman. I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. I mean, it worked out well, but that first 3 months, man, I was homesick. I was going home every weekend, and it was only an hour and a half away. I've never did that. It was a weird transition. So I cried and stuff. I'll open up about it. It was like kids, think you're tough and stuff, but you do get homesick, and I was only an hour and a half away. I chose Fresno State because my parents sacrificed a lot of stuff, and then they can come and see me. I mean, I could have went away, but I'd rather have my parents be able to watch me because they sacrificed a lot of their time, a lot of money, a lot of effort for me to be where I was. So I chose Fresno State, and they were pretty good. They were ranked like 14 or something the year before or whatnot. So that was my journey, and it was easy because it was Turlock Bulldogs and Fresno State Bulldogs, and shit, it was great. I'm glad I did it, to be honest.
How was your first interactions with the older guys, with Coach Batesel, with just Division I baseball? But obviously it was something you say being naive, you hadn't seen anything like that.
I had no idea because we had a weight room at Turlock High, but it was like, okay, here's your weights from the 80s. The bench, your dumbbells will still the little holes, no Olympic size dumbbell or weights. It was interesting because now you're going to school and then playing baseball. That was your life. It was cool. I was like everything you want it to be. Then there's a thing called study hall. Then there's a thing called, do this. You're going to have to manage your time better. It was a hard adjustment, but when you're young, you're like, okay, I want to do it. I'm going to be on time. I'm going to do this and that. But there's a lot more responsibility because now you have to go to class. I was always taught never, miss class and stuff. But it's just eye-opening. The biggest things were you better be at the field by 2. Don't be late. You're going to be spoken to as an adult. Mommy and daddy are not here anymore. And you better realize that your friends on this team are going to be your family through thick and thin. So if you have problems, better have a great guy to have your back. I mean, not fighting or anything, just to talk to and lean on and stuff. Some of the older guys, they could be dicks. Some of the older guys were nice. And then once you got their trust, it opens up. You guys know, I mean, it is how it is. Everybody's different. And Batesel was tough. But it was easy because if you made good plays, you hit the ball, you did anything, you were fine with them. I mean, I had very good experience. I have nothing bad to say about anybody at my time at Fresno State. I mean, I loved it. I would do it again.
What about like just like learning, like philosophy wise, hitting how to do things differently, approach, like just the difference from where you were to getting there and how quick it happened?
Well, like I said, I was a shortstop. So third base, my first year playing third base was my first day at Fresno State. I never played third base in my life. And that was the easiest transition. Fielding was easy. So the only thing me and Batesel butted heads on was how to field a slow roller. And I still will tell him to this day, it's the dumbest way to field a slow roller. I don't know why he kept trying to have us do it. I just couldn't do it. I physically couldn't do it. Like
It's the one where 2 hands down.
two hands off like your left front foot, and then you only get to take one plant and then throw it. I'm like, this shit does not make sense. I have no idea what I'm doing. You're trying to tell me to think while I'm chewing gum and balance a ball. And I'm like, Bates, I physically can't do this. And I just couldn't do it. And he's just like, if you make an error, you're going to be sitting your ass on the bench. I said, that's a risk I'm willing to take. Like, I just can't do this. Like this, I physically
I thought he would like
can't.
Miyagi'd you somehow to do it correctly.
Hell no.
No,
I
I've seen it too. Have you ever seen when like Jeter used to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they field with 2 hands
Yes.
on the ground,
Yes.
leaning over all the way.
Yeah,
I don't know how people do it either.
It's an interesting. There's times you can do it, but in a full
Like when you're
dead
cutting a
sprint,
ball
yeah,
off, but not going around it to
Dude,
the right.
he's like, you got to get around it. You got to do this, and then you only get one step, and then you got to throw. I'm like, even a slow roller at home. Yes, that's how we do it. I'm like, dude, I physically can't do that. And the other thing was bunts. There was one thing, he was a stiffler on bunts at third base. I was lucky I was vocal, but and I messed up a lot on bunts, and he would say, if it's on this effing side of the universe, you don't get it. If it's on this side of the effing universe, you get it. Oh, shit, why didn't you say that from the get-go? That's pretty easy. And he says, if you mess up on this side, you better be loud. I go, that's all you have to say, dude. You don't have to yell at me every time I mess up. Just tell me that shit straightforward. So those were my 2 things. It was adjusting, but you know what? I'm glad he was hard on me. I had my uncle as my high school coach. He was hard as shit on me. He developed me for the next level. My parents weren't hard on me, but they expected the best out of me like every parent does. They had my back through everything, but I'm just glad I got prepared from high school to college, because if you didn't have thick skin with Batesel like some kids did, you just fold. And nowadays, I want a coach to coach my kid like him, because now everybody wants their hands held.
Well, is that what we saw?
You know?
I guess, is that what we saw on the mound in the regional supers? Is that what we saw with the pressure getting to these guys? Like,
They weren't prepared.
you were talking about, that's what I'm saying. You were talking about during the season, like, that's the difference.
Or they just don't want to be in that situation. If I'm a pitcher, give me the damn ball. It's either I'm going to win this game or I'm going to lose it. They don't have that confidence anymore. Like you said, 6-inning pitch, big deal. I mean,
Yeah, you still want the ball.
Do you want to go to Omaha or
yeah,
not?
no shit. This is your season. I want to be that guy. I want the glory.
This is the shit that when you walk in from the fall, this is the one thing
Yeah.
that we're playing for every year, and you're a matter of outs away.
And maybe I legitimately just made an excuse for those guys, because
But-
they're probably throwing bullpens. They're probably, you know what I mean. So
Okay,
it's
a
not
ball-
like they just pitched 6 in the 3rd inning only, like the whole year.
But a bullpen's like a ball on the tee.
Yeah,
I mean, shit, I can throw a bullpen right now and I'll pull every muscle, but I'll throw strikes for you. But you're right. Tuesday games are to get your guys in, get your innings in. They misutilize, I mean, like you said, 6.5 innings, however many innings they've played. You're going to use them in the stretch, like you said. Like you said, he might only pitch 3 months ago. If I hadn't been hitting for 3 months, you tell me to go, here, hit this guy, I'm not going to, I'm going to fail miserably. So like you said, they're not prepared. I get it. You can do bullpens as much as you want. I can hit off a tee. I can hit off a machine.
You can squad.
Yeah.
It's not the same. That stadium was full.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
squad is not with 4, 5, 6, 7,000 people in there. You're just not the same atmosphere. Those outs are not pressure outs.
No.
And you look at Ovi did it a lot this year. His Tuesday games, go look how many
yeah.
pitchers.
it was a pin.
I mean, it was 2, 2. I mean, 5,
It
6
was like
guys every Tuesday.
Garcia Armstrong started and the pinned.
And those Tuesday guys, at some point, mindset's got to be, okay, how do I get from being a Tuesday guy to where I'm pitching Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
Bingo. That's your goal, right?
Yes.
How did you pitch on Tuesdays?
Exactly. That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. So
You're getting innings to get to that.
Yeah.
You're not just doing
I
bullpens.
I don't want to just pitch on Tuesdays. I want to, and it's like going back to Gambo, giving him a reason to keep you up.
Yeah.
So those opportunities you get on Tuesday, if you're
It's
lights
trust.
out
It's
2,
trust.
3 Tuesdays in a row.
Can my coach trust me on Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Well, they're going to find out on Tuesday. In the Pro Bowl, can my organization trust me in the big leagues? Well, they're going to find out, see how tough
And
you
I know
are.
Oregon had some injuries. I'm using them as an example, but that was a good point that I thought you made. Is they were underdeveloped. They didn't get enough innings this season.
There's no confidence. There's no toughness, as Bates would say. They're just scared.
And as a team, I know they're your brothers, and you said it really well about these are your brothers, this is your family, but even in that situation
I'm sorry, as a player.
What are you thinking as a player?
You see a guy come in, you're like,
this guy's been pitched since freaking March.
You're like, who is this guy?
Yeah,
who is this guy?
Why is he coming in right now? No offense.
It's like that Rialto.
Put me in, I'll pitch.
It's like the JT Real Muto with the guy running in from the
sprinting
pen.
out.
He's like, this fucking guy.
He's just
we
shaking
go.
his head.
Shit, this again.
And that's tough.
Yeah, and as a playing behind a guy like that, you're like, now I'm gonna have to be on my toes, or it's a walk fest. Then I get bored, and then oh shit, here comes a piss rod at me.
Yeah.
Am I ready for it?
Now I got one, and then this is the top of the ninth when that went down, and you're
Yeah,
like, now I got to come in. I got 3 outs to
Yeah.
scratch 6.
Yeah, that's tough. And I hate to say it takes your confidence away.
Well, and then
It does.
I mean, the way that kid left the game started it. Like to see that kid go down like that, you're already in a different place
Yeah.
mentally. Now you're seeing guys come in the game that haven't pitched at all during the season, and just added on to a shitty feeling.
It's piling shit on shit on that part.
Pretty
right
much.
there. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mean
It
to
just
laugh.
I mean, it sucks, but it's the game. You have to adjust. That's why you play a season for instances like that. We didn't have Tanner Shepard down the stretch.
No,
I mean, shit. Look what
one
we
of the best
did.
pitchers in the country too.
Exactly.
At
He
the
was going to be top 5 pick.
well, you guys didn't have him through the whole postseason.
No, yeah, he got hurt the last, or I think the last series or whatnot. We didn't have him at all, and we had people step up. So that's why your Tuesday guy. Here you go.
And all those guys
buddy.
pitched.
Exactly. I mean, you polish your team for the postseason. First, you got to get there, but obviously you polish it for beyond that. But some of these coaches don't have that philosophy, or like I said, you over recruit. Oh shit, I forgot about this guy. Oh, we got this guy. Oh, who gives a shit? Let everybody fail. You have to fail, no matter what. You have to fail to understand what you're going to be good and how to work and get through that failure.
I'm telling you, man, that's one of my favorite things Coach Batesel said. I think it was in 19? No, it was the season after 19. It was going into 20. And when we were just talking, like, how's this team looking? And that's the one thing he said without hesitation. So I don't know. We're okay, but I don't think we've lost enough. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was after the Stanford Regional the next year.
Yeah, I was like, what are you?
We lost all the seniors.
Yep.
We haven't lost enough. Yeah, like these guys aren't. We got to lose a little bit more till we're ready to go win. And I was just like, damn, man.
And he had that
So
philosophy with freshman hitters too. Like, I'm going to put you in a situation that you don't want to be in because I want to see if you're going to fail or succeed. But even though I know you're probably going to fail, but I want you to fail at something first.
Yeah.
I remember I went on like a 2-week skid my freshman year, a 3-week skid. He said, let me know when you're ready to see me. No, I'll get through this. Okay. Week goes by. You ready? No. Week goes by. He's like, I'm not going to beg you to come see me. You know it all. You obviously know it all, so you do what you're doing. And after that 3rd week, I'm like, I'm ready. He goes, all right, let's go to work. He had his feet up on his desk, and I went in there. He's, hey, what's going on? I said, I'm ready. He goes, let's go. Gets his feet down as fast as he can, puts his hat on. Let's get to work. Your early work's with me today. I don't give a shit what else you do because you're fine everywhere else. This is where we need to clean you up. And I mean, he took me for like an hour or two. He goes, all right, this is what I see. Fix this, fix that. Tell me what you like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I want it. He goes, no. You're fine here, but this is what I see. And he was very good at meticulating things. He had some drills that were different, but they worked. And that's why his teams always hit. But that was like, I was like, holy shit. He wanted me to fail and beat myself up and have me as a young adult become a man and ask for help because I didn't know everything. And he, as quick as he could, all right, let's go to work. And I'm like, all right, this guy's with us. This was like a big turning moment. I was a freshman. I mean, we were good, but it was like, okay, I trusted him. And now it's like, all right, this is what we got to do. No matter what, you have to be honest because if you lie to this guy, he's going to eat you alive. And that was my point. I never lied to him because I did some things.
You just lied to yourself.
Yeah, I was just in myself. I'm like, oh, I'm good. And then he like jumped up. I was like, let's go do this. And it's going to be me and you. Let's roll. It was pretty cool. I remember that. Like,
and how many Division I coaches are willing to allow your starting third baseman that's a freshman fail that much
and keep me in
and keep him in the game?
Yeah. Well, because my defense was saving my ass.
I know, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, he
trusted.
Know what I mean? Yeah.
You know, at that level too, so your defense will work in the ninth.
Yeah, exactly. You could be pulled. Yeah, here, defensive replacement. Yeah.
So it's just like, that's what I'm saying is like, people don't know that Bates all and that we've gotten to know over the years and see. And that's what we didn't see with all his players. Like, he was going to grind with you. He was going to do whatever, but he wanted you to want it.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't going to tell you, hey, you need to do
Well, and he
this.
also, it's got to be, I know he's tough, but also, it's got to be a little comforting to know this guy's not just going to throw me to the weeds. Like, I'm struggling and he's not going to turn his back. And I'm still in the lineup. Like, he's still giving me opportunities. Like you said, not a lot of guys are going to do that. When your job is to,
Your job
around winning games
Yeah,
and tournaments and getting through the conference and all that, and a guy's not getting it done, the trigger is usually pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. But
he also saw something. He, as a coach, we've all coached. You see something special in somebody. Sometimes you have to let them get knocked their ass out.
Yeah.
And then to come back.
Start from the ground up again.
Well, and he probably also knew, like, going forward, you were the guy.
Yeah.
So no time better than now for you to go through this.
Yeah, and it was early this season. Early on. And, I mean, we were winning games still. But, yeah, he was just like, all right, let's figure this out together.
I mean,
not just him, together, which was weird, which was a cool thing,
too. And that's what I love about him, too. He allowed me to go out there and, like, we'd watch BP and he'd be like, what do you see? I'd be like, at first I was like scared to even give my opinion on hitting to this guy, you know? And I'm like, well, he's kind of open in his front shoulder, didn't keep two hands to it. He's like, okay, well, tell him.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yep.
He's like, yeah. I mean, you guys are hitting BP before a game. Yeah, tell him. Tell him what you saw.
He got to be a bigger teddy bear the years go on. Because I know when Ovi had him as a young coach, he would tell me shit. I was like, good Lord, I wouldn't have made it. Like, I hated lifting. I hated running. And he had like, but he became a teddy bear. But I think you have to be stern your first years. You have to earn that next contract.
Well, he was building something.
Exactly. He was foundation up and he built an empire. I mean,
Well, we all, the idea is we all benefit from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I know it sucks, right? And I don't love being on you, but at the end of it, we could all celebrate together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And in 2008, you guys still talked about. It will always be talked about. Congrats to the 4 seed getting into this year's World Series.
Third one since it came
since
around.
You guys,
since
2012.
Stony Brook.
Since then, but first, you guys were the first.
Yeah, we were first. Yeah. Well, since '91, I guess, when they started doing them, right?
Yeah. But still, you're the first 4 seed to ever make it.
Oh, I know. Don't have to tell me.
I mean, obviously, that's everybody's. Remembers that year, that run. Take us through it, man. Like, there's a couple stories in there that I don't think have ever been told on here. And I don't know if Rivera told it or not. Did he tell the airplane story going to Omaha?
Yeah, with Grubb.
Just I think it was.
Yeah, he probably, I don't know. He was probably sitting by him. But all I remember was I didn't like flying. Like, I flew one time before college, and that was to, like, Disney World with my grandparents in 3rd fucking grade. So I hated airplanes. Like, I was like, holy shit, we're in an airplane. This is pretty cool. I thought that was a rich people's way of transportation. I didn't know that was a common thing, but it was, going to Omaha. We left here. We had a charter plane. It was cool. You had your own stuff. And then stewardess were like, you don't have to turn your cell phones off. That's a crock of crap. Like, don't worry about it. Blah, blah,
lying
blah.
to
Yeah,
us.
they're just stay seated. Keep your seatbelts on. You're good. And all of a sudden we just okay, seatbelt signs on. Oh, whatever. Like, all right, like, and then I'm looking at stewardesses, and they're like, kind of panicking. I'm like, shit, something's going on. All right, guys, we got to get there pretty quick. We're hitting a big storm. I swear to God, we went from like 100,000 feet up in the air to like I can see the ground. I was like, and then you just feel them just hammering down, hauling ass. And I'm like, holy shit. But we dropped so far, people were hitting their heads on the damn, whatever, the luggage deal. And I was like, damn. And I remember getting off this airplane in Lincoln. I think that's where we emergency landed, Lincoln. And the cabin door was open. And the pilots were talking to themselves. They go, that was the 9 out of 10 turbulence I've ever been in.
Wow.
And I was like, shit, should I be the Pope and kiss the ground right now when we get off this or what? How does
we
this
walking
work?
home?
Yeah, what's going on? But, I mean, it was the scariest ride I've ever had. And then we had to drive through that shit in a bus. And you can see where the twister hit. It was weird. It was like a welcome to Omaha. Like, here's the bad new Bears coming in town. We're supposed to be
It's
Q
kind
and
of
Q.
it's kind of the
you know,
it kind of fit your guys' run.
Yeah,
though.
it was
like,
our agenda to not get to Omaha. Like,
yeah,
it was just
nothing normal about your guys' road there.
No, but that one
I
was
mean,
scary.
Georgia was on their private jet from the
probably their football
Atlanta
team or
Falcons.
so.
Yeah, Atlanta
that's
Falcons
right,
probably
yeah.
took them.
Shit, yeah, they're
Well, because prior to that, like the Dogs would get, win the WAC, get to, for some reason I always wind up at Fullerton.
Yeah.
And they win a game, split, go 3 games, and end up being the end of the year. And that year, I think it was Long Beach,
yeah.
finally broke through. And I'm like, oh shit.
And then ASU?
Yeah, and then ASU.
ASU.
Come on, how do you not remember that?
Well, I get those Arizona ones mixed up because their stupid bullshit fight with Ike Davis and Brett Wallace before the game. That was stupid.
Were you guys, I guess I don't want to say like just happy to be in a regional, but like.
Yeah, shit, yeah, we were. We're getting more meal money.
Like
it was, every day we were there, you get meal money.
There was games to play, so you guys obviously want to win, but was
Yeah.
there expectations of, are we getting out of this thing? Honestly. Maybe
Well,
for you. I don't want you to speak for the team, but for you. You were a sophomore.
Well, obviously we won. I think when we won our regional, I think that's when everybody's like, okay, we could do this, because that regional was like the regional of death. I mean, there was, I think, 2 top 10 teams, and then low teens or 20. Like, we should have never even won a game in that. And playing at Long Beach, where it sucks to play,
Sucks to hit
at all. I mean, we were built off of. I mean, we could do. We're a fundamentally sound team, but we're also built on a long ball here and there. And you couldn't hit. I mean, that place absolutely sucked to hit. But we could field like a mofo and pitch, and our pitchers understood they didn't have to strike everybody out, because the 8 guys behind or 7 guys behind them would field the ball.
Well, the offense played the same for everybody.
Yeah.
Phil did it to everybody.
It evened everybody out.
Right.
Yeah. But then when we went to ASU, we got killed the first game, and we're just like, geez.
Well, and you're playing in
There we go.
they were number 2 or 3 in the country.
Yeah, they were 31 and like 2 at home.
Just getting Mike Leake to start the game.
Yeah.
They were loaded.
They had a good team, but they.
Like, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, they're like, they already looked past us. It was like, whatever, I guess we're supposed to lose. They killed us first game. Second game, we were in their locker room. I remember that. And the time that it turned because it was, I don't know, whatever inning it was, but their locker room was badass. We stayed in their locker room the whole time because they had a sweet couch. They had a big screen TV, had like popcorn machine and shit. Like, it was like movie theaters. We're like, dude, it's 110 out there. They got the AC going on. So whenever you weren't playing, you just walk in there. Then the defining moment when I knew that this could be done was when Gavin Hedstrom hit the grand slam. A lot of us were sitting on the couch in the clubhouse watching on TV. We didn't even watch it.
You weren't even in the dugout?
No. We were like, it's too hot out there. Like, we just got it. He hit it, grand slam. That to me was the biggest defining moment of that team. That hit by Gavin Hedstrom is what sparked us to win everything else.
Well, so wasn't Ribera's walk to start that inning?
Hell no, it's a grand slam. I give shit less.
Ribs. And he did say that was his first walk of the season, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, he had a rough season that season. We all did. But, I mean, it doesn't matter because look what he did in the World Series. I mean, he was batting, I think Rivera was batting under 200, and he had, 2 home runs in the World Series. Yeah. I mean, came up big spot. That's what it means. Like, it doesn't give – it's like the 6 innings pitch. Rivera struggled in the season, but he still got opportunities to play. And in the stretch, he came through.
Did you guys ever, seriously, did you ever wonder why? Because we're talking about, well, why didn't you get pulled your freshman year? Why did Bates stay with you? Did you guys ever wonder, like, why Bates stayed with certain guys at some point? Like, this guy's not getting it done, or do you ever question his decision-making?
No, because
I'm just
how
asking.
our practices went was how he knew we could play. It was, if you got the practices done right, like you said, he could see something in people that others can't. Like he made you a better person, because we always are hardest on ourselves. But when somebody else gives you a little pat to go, or, brightened your day with a few little words, or says, hey, you can do this, or great job, even though it was a shitty game, but hey, you saved us by here or whatnot. He knew how to lift you up. He didn't look like that type of guy. He was hard, but he knew how to get the best out of people. Yeah, but you had to accept that. And the guys that say bad things about him, badmouth about him, they didn't accept that from him. He was too hard on them when maybe they're, had a silver spoon in their mouth. I mean, they didn't play outside. They had the cell phones or whatever. I don't know. They weren't used to failing. But baseball is obviously a game of failure, and Batesel would let you fail, let you hit rock bottom, and then pick you up together. And it's a journey that he would lead you on to make you better and ultimately make the team better. And that's how he could do it. And that's how we did it in the World Series. He made a team that was not the most talented, but not the least talented. In the box, it was the most fundamentally sound team on the field every single day. If hitting didn't do it, defense and pitching would do it. If pitching was shitty, like, look at our last game. I think Miller got titted for 4, 5, 6 runs. We came back and we, put an 8 spot on him. So pitching sucked. Hitting, defense kept us in the game. I mean, that's how Batesel would build it around. We all knew our job, and that's how he always thought. He had some cliche stuff, score first and stuff, but it's embedded in us to this day. I haven't played in, 5 years, but I still remember all that. That's how his winning formula worked. And once everybody was aboard, and the people who weren't,
well, those things, to score first, answer back, put up a 0, like, it keeps your mind focused on those specific duties rather than, I got to score 6 runs here, right? Because we can't just score 6 runs, right? You got to do all these other things to start scratching across.
Yeah, leading up to that.
Right. Just the time there, like, how much of it do you go back? How often do you go back just to that time, that experience, those couple weeks?
Like right now, it's since they play some of our stuff a lot, or like if I'm talking to a farmer or something, Fresno State. Oh yeah, he played baseball. Oh, do you know this guy? Yeah,
I'm him.
Some guys. You remember the Mendonca kid? I'm like, yeah, I know I've gained weight, but shit, man. I mean, that's me. But yeah, it's fun. These guys, some guys remember and some don't. But what it did was I didn't care. It doesn't matter where you're at in California or the Central Valley, whether it's north or south, everybody remembers that. I mean, it brought the Central Valley together pretty much. I mean, whether it was Cal Poly, whether it was UC Davis, whether it was anybody between those two lines, people remember that. They said, you put Central Valley on the map in a bigger way than football, because everybody's like, okay, we know USC, we know this, but it was just something that should never happen, and everybody was rooting on it. And that was the coolest part. Those were the coolest stories to hear. It was like, oh, hey, well, my uncle, I was in Rome and I was watching it. We had a bar. He said, I threw a quarter in the wishing well and wish you would be the MVP, and I would have it on a bar over there. Like, it was cool, like, seeing stuff. And then when I went to Team USA in, I think, Amsterdam or somewhere like that, said, hey, you're Tommy Mendonca. I go, yeah, we watched you over here. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I have no clue who you are, but we're not even close to here. They're like, yeah, I remember watching you play. That was cool, but I didn't do it for that. I did it to win the championship. I mean, that's all cool, but
how often do you like stay in touch with those guys too? Is it what everybody thinks it is, or what Coach Batesel said? It is still a family, still brotherhood, still.
Yeah, I mean, every
tight.
so often.
I mean, obviously, family things.
Everybody has families now. Yeah, the one I always keep in contact, obviously, is Ovi. That's pretty much it, 'cause everybody else has stuff on their plate, and I just started a family too, so it's tougher for me. We're not. It's even my best friend I don't talk to, for 4 or 5 months. But when you talk to him, it's picked up right back, like we're still on the field.
I know we've asked pretty much every guy that's been on that team. I think we even asked you guys on that episode we did a couple years ago. Was there ever any doubt, though? Like, you guys dropped that first game to Georgia, and then you're down game 2. What was it, 6 runs? I mean, you guys have scored 19.
5 or 6,
yeah, but, you know, in another elimination game, was there ever any doubt? Was there ever any sense in the dugout, like, oh, man, is this how it ends?
I mean,
do you remember?
I would say no, but I'd probably be lying because when we were down 6-0, because we lost that first game in a bad way.
Yeah.
So that was a kick in the pants. But the second game, it was like, oh, shit, they just poured it on. It was like third or fourth inning, 6-0. Here we go. And also, boom, 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 we're right back in it. Then 1, 2, 3. Holy shit, let's keep rolling. That second game, yeah, it was because we lost to North Carolina like 5-4 off of like a grand slam or something too, and then Georgia the same thing, something like that. So we're like, okay, we can still do it. But then when they came out on a 6-0, like,
yeah, it wasn't. Like, not the fact that it was an elimination game. You guys had been there, done that already.
Yeah.
It was that shit. This is an elimination game, and we're 3 into this, and
we're in
down.
the hole. Yeah,
we're chasing 6.
And grand slam don't do much, but yeah. But then we poured it on. Then after that, I was like, okay, here we go. Then Allison came out, or no, not out. Yeah, Allison pitched that game too a little bit, but Wilson came out championship game, which was like, I think he had 3 days rest, 2 days rest.
Wasn't much, not at all.
And he dominated.
Yeah, he did.
And Muno had a terrible game fielding, but Detweiler had the best game of his life ever hitting. So that's what I was saying. So pitching and hitting picked us up. Besides, Muno finally pulled his head out of his ass and turned a double play for. It's a pretty big play. That's how it works.
Team effort as it gets.
Yeah.
Really. Because you named like moments even through, you could probably go back during the season and call out moments of where, I didn't have it, but this guy did. Like all throughout the year. Like I love that. And that's why like ORU has that kind of, it looks a little familiar. Yeah. I don't know. It was awesome to see. Like you said, everybody remembers where they were, where they watched it, I have it recorded on my DVR at home. I'll probably go.
Yeah, but how many did it with? Did you have a broken thumb or a dislocated?
Detweiler had the broken thumb. Mine.
You had something.
I had because I jumped for a ball in Long Beach and put all the pressure, all my weight on my throwing hand, and it felt like my index and middle finger touched my wrist, so they were called badly hyperextended. I had to stay at the hospital in Long Beach, which I highly don't recommend being there because there were some interesting cats in the hospital there in the waiting room. It was pretty sketchy. But I was there and I had a drug test that day. It was just miserable time. I got hurt. They were like, you need to take a drug test. I said, I'm going to the hospital. Oh, you have to pee in this cup before. I said, follow me to the hospital. I said, no, you have to pee in it. I go, I'm only peeing once. If the pH levels ain't right, you're waiting until tomorrow. Like, I have to go. I don't think I got back to the hotel till 6 or 7 a.m., and we had a game at whatever time it was. All I remember was this was miserable. I feel bad for the trainer, feel bad for everybody, but, she did her job. Fantastic. Got me and Detweiler playing and everybody else she would take time out of, all right, training room's open in the hotel room. Let's go. All right, here we go. She went above and beyond. That was fun. But, yeah, it was interesting. We were all banged up. But what do? You're in the World Series. This is what you played for.
Everybody is at that point of the season.
If nobody says they're 100%, they're lying to you.
And that's where the training staff really does come into play. And
God.
You have to respect what they do, not only during the year, but then, I remember the nights every week in the hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just, oh, man, something hit me. It's probably all year. There's something you're dealing with, the back, leg.
Well, pitcher, traveling on buses for, 7 hours, that ain't going to feel good on your body. Flying was all right, but, just hotel beds. You're just not used to it. Well, the good thing you got working on you is you're younger. You're going to heal quicker. Mm-hmm. But, those trainers don't get as much credit as they deserve. They are, and they do a lot more you don't see. I playing pro ball, you see a lot more what they're there before you. They're there after you. They're like, damn, they're here because we're the pawns, and they're pretty much need to keep the pawns on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was kind of like thinking about too what ORU's coach is Fulmer was talking, or maybe it was you. I forget. I think it was him. He was quoted was talking about how how much road games, how much they were on the road, and just
Reminded of Fresno State.
yeah. Well, just the guys are closer. The guys get tighter.
You do get closer.
You're not with just kids around campus. You're not.
And your family might not be there either, too.
You have no choice but to be around your team. And you guys were from the WAC tournament to Long Beach to ASU to.
Well, yeah, we went La Tech.
It was like 45 days. 45 days in a row or something like
45
that.
45 or 35. Yeah, because my lease at Copper Beach ran out while we were there, and we got charged a shit pile of money for being a month overdue. And then I left, so I got home from that plane trip. We had the parade. I partied it up like a rock star that night, and then the next day I had to leave for, I think, Raleigh for Team USA. So I got to live nothing. I wish I was here just because people. Actually, I lied. I stayed here one day, went to Doghouse with my mom and dad, and that was about it. And cleaned out my apartment. But I wish I never got to live anything up after the World Series because I was gone for a month, and it was already come and gone. I mean, the freshness of it, but. Like when we went to Doghouse Grill, oh my gosh, it was like, you guys are awesome. It was so cool to see people come, random people. If you ever need anything, let me know. Oh, you need. It was like, that's awesome.
You should have got a bunch of phone numbers.
Yeah.
You look back at it now.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, but I don't. It was. That's one thing I wish I got to see, but obviously I couldn't pass up honor of representing USA.
How was that? How was playing in
that was fun.
the national team?
That
How about seeing the jersey with your name on it and stuff?
That was cool. I mean, I still have all my jerseys. Every time I went from minor league, from Fresno on, I have probably 75 of my own jerseys. All my game stuff. Whenever it come for sale, I'd buy it because I'm a collector of that type of stuff. But yet, I'm selfish and I want those memories for myself. Like I remember, okay, this is cool. I want this. It is what it is. I mean, I was selfish. I didn't want anybody else to have my jersey, but my family and me. But it was cool with USA and Mendonca on the back. I don't think I played a little bit in college. I was struggling. I was tired, and wood bat stuff. I just didn't. I was so tired, which is an excuse, but
It's hard to come from being here to get a couple days to come down to have to bring it back up.
I was like, okay, you've made the team when other guys had a tryout. I'm like, oh God. So I'm this last guy coming here. I don't know any of these mofos, and here I am. They know me because of the College World Series, but I'm, it is what it is. So at that point, I was struggling so bad. I was a defensive replacement in the 7th, 8th inning. It was like, oh shit. So I seen both aspects of it, but it was fun. I mean, we went to where did we go? We went to Netherlands, Czech Republic, and I think played a game in Germany. I remember that was like the first game in German soil in a long time, and hit a grand slam. That was awesome. That was fun. But then, like, playing for USA, it opens your eyes to seeing how much better we have it here in the United States. Like, on Czech Republic, it was just, we take stuff for granted here in the United States. So that kind of humbled me a little bit more, saying, we at least have shoes. We have new gloves. We have bats. We don't share a bat. I mean, the bat's not taped 17 times because it broke with a little nail in it. It opened my eyes to appreciate things more, and playing with Steven Strasburg, Mike Lee. I mean, playing with everybody on that team but two guys made the big leagues, myself and I think Ryan Lipkin. It was unreal seeing Strasburg was the best pitcher I've ever played with. I mean, I've ever seen. He threw 3 straight balls at like 101, and then he moves it an inch. 3 straight strikes at like 102. I mean, the guy was unreal. It's fortunate what happened to him now. I mean, he hasn't been.
He might be
done.
done. Yeah,
but he's still getting paid $30 million. I saw.
I think for the next couple of years.
Hey, I'll take.
They
it.
were calling that the worst big league contract in history.
Yeah, he was one of them. But I mean, he was dominant when he played.
He was. He's World Series. You brought them a World Series.
Yeah, so you can't.
Well, then you got your moment. You got a 2nd round draft pick. The Texas Rangers. I mean, how was that? What are they telling you? Like, because you hear all kinds of weird stories. They're thinking maybe late 3rd, top 10.
Yeah, it was. I was told either 2nd overall pick to into 1st round, because I think first was Strasburg. That nobody's gonna take that, and Seattle had the 2nd overall pick, and Seattle was hot and heavy on me. If they went a high school or a position player, they had another pick like 22nd, I think, they were going to go with a position player or whatever, however it worked out. And I was talking to their scouts. So they took, I think, Dustin Ackley second overall. So, okay, whatever. There's still more teams in the first. And then when it came to their second pick, they picked another position player. That scout called me right after that happened. Said, just want to let you know, you got effed. I'm quitting from here. I'm going to go scout for somebody else. And no sure shit, that guy went somewhere else. He said they lied to me. And I was like, he said, I'm sorry I got your hopes up. That's not what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to be as honest as I can with you. That was awesome of the scout. And he's still scouting to today. And when I see him, he's always he's like, Ovi, hey, how's Ray and Tammy doing? He remembers everything. But the draft was the greatest day, but I had the biggest migraine because I went from our regional my junior year, flew to Arizona with my mom. Then from Arizona, flew to Seattle, or San Francisco, where I met my dad. So my mom, and dad swapped, and then went to Seattle. And from Seattle, went to Milwaukee, all in like 4 days. And the draft was like a day later, and I just had so jet lagged, so miserable, just
drained.
Oh God, it was the happiest, but I was struggling that day. I remember we have it on film, and I was just, oh God, this can't be over quick enough. But I remember getting the call from my financial advisor at the time. Hey, they want to take you here. You got screwed. You're supposed to be in the first round. I'm like, whatever. It's how it goes. I mean, yeah, would I love to have been a first rounder? Absolutely. Maybe I'd had an opportunity to be in the big leagues, but it was fun. It was a very good experience, and then you sign your name on the dotted line, they get two shits about you. I mean, it's unreal. It's like my scout said, my job as soon as you signed your name on the dotted line was to go find somebody to replace you. I said, that's that cutthroat. He goes, that's my job. He has nothing against you, but you were my high pick. You were my high choice. My job that next day is to find somebody to replace you. Damn, man.
And that's your welcome to professional baseball.
Here's a bottle
Welcome
of
to
champagne.
business.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Fly over there first class. Then, hey, I was like in the middle of the plane on the way back.
And I mean, essentially, it was at the gist of it through your minor league career. I mean,
yeah,
played a good amount of years in professional baseball. That's hard enough to play more than a handful of years.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun. It was great. And then you see the writing on the wall. Like, I got passed up by a guy who had less numbers than me or the same numbers as I did the year before, and all because he looked better in a uniform. And I'm just like, see, this is the bullshit I'm talking about. Like, this is the political, or they need you to look this way or that. It's like, okay, if I'm in the regular workforce, I'm pretty sure I just wouldn't have, like, you can't do this or whatever, but it's just how it is. And you get paid dog shit wages. I mean, everybody thinks you're making $100,000 AAA. It's different now, but back then I don't think I made more than either $9,500 or $9,800 the whole year. Like, you get paid more in big league camp per diem to go eat than like
season
3 months or 4 months in AAA. And
they get like $1,200 a week.
Yeah, but then if you don't go to big leagues, your meal money is taxed throughout the year. So your pay is lower every check. Those big league guys said, do not spend all this money because when you go to AAA, they tax that money to get it back from you. And I'm like, no, they don't. First check was like $300 or something like that.
Dude.
Because they taxed, and it didn't go until after the All-Star break that tax stopped coming. And that's what people don't understand. I'm like, minor league ball sucks. I was fortunate to sign my name for a good amount of money, but there's no way if I was 60th round or 50th or whatever it was, or, draft and follow or whatever, there's no way you can make ends meet. You'd have to have a good backing or you're in debt up to your eyes right now.
It's just weird because it goes from playing for, one team as one goal to business.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You're a pawn.
Like everything you've been taught to do for baseball your entire life at the professional level is now it's the exact opposite.
And at least then it was still based on raw talent. A little bit of the analytics or whatever it's called came into play. Now it's you plug it in. If it
this is what we're doing.
Yeah. unless you're hitting 30 home runs like Gallo. I mean, he had 2 good years, got paid. Good for him. Did his job. But, yeah, it's no more of, hey, bat 300, hit 9, 10 home runs. No, you need to have this algorithm, this and that. It's like, to me, Tyler Soderstrom, that kid's tearing it up. He has, I think, 55 home runs in 3 years as a 21-year-old in minor leagues, over 100 RBIs. That's pretty damn good. Yeah. And he plays for the Oakland Athletics, who are a very good team. Look at their record.
Hey, I will say they've won
5 in a row. Get out of here. That's the bet of the century. Bet the under.
Swept the Brewers.
Yeah.
Not an A's fan, but I'm just saying.
I'm a diehard A's fan, and I don't know why.
Then we got to go. I'm trying to talk my wife into catching the Yankee series.
Their stadium will be.
That'll be the biggest sellout of
There'll be 26,000 people there. We still have season tickets, and they treat us like garbage. Hey, here's your season tickets. Oh, advertisement. 10 tickets for $10 and get 4 hot dogs for free, yet we're paying $30 a seat. But they're just...
you might be able to play for them right now, as a matter of fact.
I tried that. They cut me in a week.
That's true. Well, you were Rule 5, right?
Yeah, it was Rule 5. Oh, you're going to be our guy, blah, blah, blah.
You didn't even play a game in the organization, right?
Nope, because Billy Beane has too much pride to let go when that guy should... Not being rude, but
he's got ownership stake, I think. So.
I think that's how they got him out of that position. I think that's why Matt Force or whatever his name is, he was the guy behind it. I think they had to get Billy Beane out of there. He was running. Look what he did to the game of baseball. Look what he did to the A's when they had Mulder, Zito, Hudson. They had they had a stacked team, but we spent no money. Look at this. We can keep.
That's why it's funny that movie doesn't show the 3-headed monster on the bump.
No,
it was all the numbers.
It was all the
Just the numbers did it.
And I only like that movie because it's a baseball movie.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
And there's a lot of stuff in there that is relatable from being in pro ball and stuff. But you didn't even show they had 3 Cy Young.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Jonah Hill's character is made up in that movie. He's not even a real person.
His name is fake. There was a guy, but it's a totally different name.
Yeah, they were saying, because I remember going to spring training, they were like, that guy, even I think one of the high up guys said they just made him up for the movie because it made the story. But
which sucks because now I don't know.
Well, it was Scott Hatterberg's show or Chris Pratt's, whatever his name is.
Chris Pratt, yeah.
Mr. Galaxy, Guardian of the Galaxy, you know.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah. Before he even got to play an inning in a
that was so fun. Hey, you're going to be AAA, big leagues. Boy, that was a shit show.
Wait,
and my
what
career
happened?
ended for
Chris
me.
Pratt?
No, me. Chris Pratt, not him. Oh. Chris Pratt he's making his money. He's Velociraptor trainer. Blue, if that's what you were going to buy.
Oh my gosh. How did you get out of it? How did it end for you? Did you get to at least say you were done on your terms, or
from minor league, or from
from minor league?
Minor league was Phillies.
With Phillies, yeah. And then you went and played an Atlantic League a little bit.
I went Atlantic League after the A's, then Phillies got me, and then I went to American Association for 3 or 4 or 5 years or whatever. It ended when I was in, I think, Trenton, was with the Yankees AA team, I think, was there. I remember the night before was 4th of July. I remember getting a base hit up the middle off some lefty, and that was my last at bat. And the next day I come in, they said, Tommy Joseph's coming back up. We're going to have to release you. I'm not glad. I said, okay, cool. Where's the nearest liquor store? That's all was on my mind. Okay, I got to cope with this because there's nobody. It's too late in the season. There's nothing going to happen. So I walked down to the liquor store, grabbed a 6-pack, and there was a waterfront, and I sat on the waterfront just thinking, okay, what am I going to do? Is this it? What do I tell? Obviously the agent knows, how's this going to work out? Then they got me a town car, went back to Reading, Pennsylvania, flew out the next day, made it to my brother's college graduation party, surprised everybody. I mean, it was a cool surprise, but it sucked because I shouldn't have been there.
Bittersweet surprise.
So it was just one of those things. I was thinking, okay, what do I do? Then the agent said, hey, we got another agent that does independent ball. And at that time, I was like, I'm too good for independent ball. I'm above that. and that was one of the better choices I've ever made to go to independent ball. That was the funnest time of I got paid more in independent ball than AAA, and that should not happen. It was the funnest time. It made baseball fun again. It was a stupid little move, and then when I got released by the A's, I had a choice to go to Mexico or into Atlantic League, and my agent said Atlantic League would be a better choice. Now looking back, I think the offer for Mexico was like 12 or 15 grand a month. I should have taken it,
Right.
But it is what it is. That's how it goes. That was my career in a nutshell. I loved, and then it ended in Canada, Winnipeg, Canada. They found some stuff in my neck. My C2, C3 vertebrae has been fused since I was born. I should have never played the game of baseball. They caught it when I was 30. And if I'm hit just right in my head, I'm paralyzed, neck down, or dead. So I was very fortunate to have my career. I can be as bitter as I want, but I am very fortunate to have play baseball, football, do anything sports-wise, because if they found it earlier, I would have never played sports in my life.
Wow, I didn't even know that. I never heard that.
Yep. I think it's called Kipple-Philia syndrome, where my C2 and C3 vertebrae are just fused together. There's no white gap in them. And they found that because I got tagged in the head at second, and my lower back hurt, and they took a x-ray from my neck down. Said, your back's fine, but see this thing? Yeah. Well, it's supposed to look like these. He goes, doctor said, I had a buddy who had it and didn't know, like you. He went water skiing, fell, and died. That was his one perfect time getting hit. He goes, I can release you, but I am not going to because of how I know what could happen. Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. If you told me this 10, 12 years ago, I'd probably, I don't know what would happen. Who knows? I might not be talking to you guys. It would have been devastating news. But, hey.
So now it's more of like a, look what I got to do.
Yeah, now it's fun. Now I can talk about how I hit like 202 in AAA, got moved down to AA, you know. It was fun. There's a lot of bitterness in it, but it's just the stuff when you get older.
Safe to say that 08 experience is your best baseball experience then?
That one and the USA stuff too. I think we were the first team that went 25 or 30-0 ever. And that team, like I said, that team was unreal.
Yeah, I love it.
And Strasburg went to the Olympics that year. That was the last Olympics, I think. Now, this World Baseball Classic thing's awesome.
Yeah.
I think they need to have that. What is it, every 2 or 4 years?
It's every 2 years, I think, right now, yeah.
But they need to do it like instead of an all-star game, you can pick and choose, play all-star, do an all-star break for like a week. That way, at least the pitchers, everything. I think that would be way better than an all-star game. And still have the all-star game, whoever wants to play all-star game. But if that brought baseball back, I think. This year. Oh my God.
Super fun to watch.
Heck yeah. Mm-hmm. It was entertaining.
So, in dogs news recently, we'll wrap it up, get close to with this, though. Obviously, you're tight with Obi. Mm-hmm. But as an alumni, and Chad and I talked about this on the last episode of how important, having a good alumni base is, especially for Fresno State. Being an alumni and being a friend of Ovi, just kind of talk about how you feel. Because you probably you talk to Ovi more than probably most people do.
Yeah.
How happy are you? But maybe talk about our guy that's at the helm now.
I'm ecstatic. Point blank, it's well deserved, and he's been here 10 years, 12 altogether. Yeah. So I remember moving his ass to Reno and then moving him back to Fresno within 3 months. That was a hell of a story. I'm not going to tell it because I don't think it's appropriate. We got caught in a snowstorm. We had to put chains on my deal. He fell asleep at the passenger. He was the worst co-pilot I've ever had in my life, but we made it home. So I remember that. So that was like, okay, you're back. And then I would stay with him while he was coaching, while I was still playing and whatnot. What was it, in 80 or 70 years, only 3 coaches.
Yeah.
Now he's the 4th or whatever. It's good to have somebody in here that people, he knows people. He's doing a great job of bringing alumni back. We never really had, I've never met Tommy Goodwin, and I met him at the alumni game this year. Never seen the guy all my time here. He was at the alumni game. I've never seen half these guys. They're coming back now. That's huge. And having Obi here with being under Batesel, and he's had time to talk with people. He gets the program. He understands. He might not be a man of a million words, but the guy, when he talks, he has the attention of everybody. He's one of the smartest baseball and most knowledgeable guys I've ever met in the game. Batesel had his strong points. Ovi has his strong points too, and he's bringing some of Batesel's strong points too with him, and he's going to be unreal. It's going to be good seeing them moving forward, him recruiting his class, him getting people he wants. His 2 coaches are great. I mean, actually his 3 coaches, because he got grad assistant. It's awesome. I mean, to me, it's good to see another Bulldog in it, especially one that comes from, he played, 4 years there, won the World Series, obviously, with us. So he's still got, and I didn't realize it until he said in the press conference, half his life has been at Fresno. And that threw me for a loop, because he was 18 years old. Now he's been, 12 years there? I mean, 4 years here. I mean, it's just like.
Yeah, nearly half.
Yeah, that's unreal. And now to be the guy running it, I think it was a smart hire.
Yeah, how do you overlook that?
You can't, unless there was, I don't know how the search went or whatever, unless there was some huge ungodly, like a Mike Batesel wanted to come back. I can see that happening, but you can't overlook the guy who's been here 10 years, gets the program. One, obviously he's not an idiot off the field, no trouble, there's no baggage, there's no nothing coming. And you're starting fresh, but within. And he has respect to the players. What's that tell your program if you bring somebody in? It's like, okay, you're gone, go transfer report. It's like when Deion Sanders went to wherever, Colorado. Hey, you go transfer report, you suck. Oh, you got it. I mean, that's a shitty way to do it.
And you have to take, you'd be wise to take the players into consideration.
Yeah.
I'm making a decision for you guys, maybe have some of their input.
Yeah.
And
he won 3 more games than last year?
Yeah.
As not the head coach technically.
And they were missing some big pieces on the mound. So no, I thought Ovi did a great job.
He did, yeah.
And I'm super, we're both very happy.
He'll get it done.
Yeah.
I mean, give him time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what did Batesel do his first year. Do you guys know?
I don't remember.
My brother was part of it. He was here for his first year. I don't remember how good they were, though.
Besides run a lot, I heard.
Wallenbachs. They ran
They
ran Wallenbachs after games.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like.
We did them in Omaha. We had 12 Wallenbachs every day. It's like, what are we doing this? This is stupid. It's 112. The humidity is like 400. You're going to kill us. But, hey, it paid off. I think Ovi, it was a great hire. Obviously, I'm super excited to see where it's going to go. And like I told him, obviously, if he ever needs anything, he's going to have a lot of backing through Bulldog Dugout Club. I mean, donors. I mean, I don't know how this NIL stuff works. Do they even have any NIL money or?
I have no clue. I have no clue.
$7 or something. But I think he'll do fine. He's a mastermind, and couldn't be more proud of him. I'm stoked.
And I think there is something to say to the coaching staff too, with definitely with like especially Buckley and Price of being around Division I baseball as long as they have.
Richie's dad was my USA coach.
Yeah, legend.
I was like, hey, he's like, I know you, Tom, but we've never met. Like how? He goes, 1 through Ryan or Ovi and my dad, because his dad called everybody big time. I go, that's right, big time's your dad. He goes, yeah, I've heard stories about you. Like, great. He goes, no, it's good. And I said, okay, well, we'll see about that. But, yeah, it's awesome coming in here, seeing 2 guys that they all mesh together. And Richie, was a head coach, and his dad head coach, and Buck was a head coach, wasn't he?
Long Beach, and spent some time at Reno recently. And, I think and then Jack's been, I think, was he at Oregon before? I don't remember where he was at.
This is
his first time
coaching.
Well, he looks good in uniform. The man fills it out. He must lift still. Because that ain't happening.
And I don't know what's going to happen with the third paid assistant deal. I don't know. I know the rules changed, all that, but no, we're excited, man. I'm happy for Ovi. I think you're right. I think he's the right guy, right fit. Just give him some time. Let's see what happens.
Absolutely. Time will tell, and I think it'll be just fine. I mean, look at the Mountain West tournament.
It was great. It was great. We had a lot of fun being out there. I really enjoyed my time, and I think people got to see, as down as they said the conference is, there was still some pretty good baseball being played.
Yeah,
and absolutely. I think they got to see it firsthand. So
yeah, that was fun.
Hopefully the attendance keeps going up as these years come on. I think next year we'll just keep blasting it on here. Go support these dogs and support Ovi and some of the local talent now that's coming back. It's a lot to be excited for. Tom, dude, I appreciate you doing this.
Thank you. Yeah,
200.
Good for you guys.
It's not that big a deal, but it is a big deal.
So what's been your guys' best memories from 200 episodes? Since you guys do all the asking,
there's a lot.
Let me ask you, what was your
It's always
favorite
my
one?
favorite episode.
Yeah, he's up there. He's one of my top 5.
Donald, Jason, Donald, just because I grew up with him.
Yeah.
And that one was great.
I mean, I've enjoyed all of them, to be honest with you. It's because I don't have a career to talk back about or be in, So it's fun for me to listen to everybody. Like Coach Bennett's was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Even just hanging out with him.
Yeah.
Same with Coach Batesel. Like we recorded.
Yeah, but we were at Bennett's house and we got to see his barn.
I mean, we were there for a few hours.
Oh,
Could you imagine the memorabilia?
I'm a geek on that. That's
was
gotta
insane.
be.
It was unbelievable.
Really?
His backyard had a scoreboard.
Oh, dude, that's big.
Because
time.
Jeff, Jordan, Brett,
Yeah.
they all played in the backyard and like the scoreboard and the grandkids. That was cool seeing that stuff. Plus, he coached my dad, so it was special.
He gave us some of his books that he had left, and I was reading his poetry book the other night. It's right by my bed still. And
Really?
it was cool just spending time with him, not just even the podcast. But like meeting Coach Savage and Vanderhook down in Fullerton and UCLA and, Eager, being a Merced guy. And he had a lot of knowledge of the area, man.
Oh, yeah.
And to see him at Stanford and Coach Esker's one of my favorites by far. They're all good, man. I've enjoyed them all. They're all fun. They're all fun.
That's good. As long as you get the truth.
We got to get you and live group, get Ovi in here one time. And
I love to do it with Ovi.
No Zoom.
Ovi's just tough for him because he can't
commit.
Well, no, he can't say a lot of stuff now.
That's why we bring in other guys.
Yeah, when does he say a lot of stuff? Dude, don't talk much. He talks a lot more.
No, I mean
now.
Now he has to watch more what he says.
Yeah, give him a championship under his belt.
Yeah,
to talk.
You can let it go.
Where'd you guys do Batesel's interview?
In his
at the office. Yeah,
that's right. How was he?
Oh, it was great.
He's just.
It was great.
Like I said, when he opens up, it's
very intimidating initially because I didn't know him really at all.
That's how Batesel is.
Well, we didn't know
but
how
he
it
could
was going to
not
go because he didn't want to talk about himself.
Yeah, that was
he never does.
So we were like, okay, how are we going to do this?
No, he told Chad that. He was like, listen, this is how I would do it.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He said it's the only way I'll do it. So we're just like, okay, what are we going to do for however long?
Yeah, how's baseball going?
and then I told Chad like how much time because the camp was going that day.
Yeah,
and I was like, how much time do we have? And he was like, I don't really know. Like I don't want to overstay our welcome.
Yeah.
We were about an hour and 20 in, hour and a half in. I'm thinking in my head, okay, well, we might be taking too much time.
Batesel will let you know. Hey,
so I did that. I go, hey, Coach, just wanted to say thank you. He's are we there already? I'm like, oh shit, you want to keep going?
Yeah,
we'll
keep
keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish we would have done more with him.
We always wanted to do a number 2, but it was just tough. He's at the end of his coaching career.
Yeah, it was.
He couldn't have been, honestly, man, he couldn't have been
in a different place.
Nicer to me, my kids. Like it was always fun going out there.
He
always loved talking to him, man. Just learned so much about.
He's a big teddy bear, yeah.
It was a good dude, man. I was sad didn't get to say bye.
That's why I texted him. I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna text you none of this bullshit. I said, when you get back, we'll have a beer, and I want to just thank you. I said,
yeah, man
to man. And he's like, hey, what's your address? He heard I had a daughter, and his Susie made some bulldog little onesies for her. Then she was wearing at the you held her. She was wearing them at the Mount West stuff. I was like, dude, you didn't have to do that. Now maybe he can come to players' weddings. He never made a wedding, so I'm gonna make his ass come to mine when I have mine.
Put him in it.
Yeah, put him in it.
God. He'll look like
make him the ring bearer.
Yeah, I was just he'll look like what's his name? Philip Seymour Hoffman in Along Came Polly in a tuxedo with his nice flowing mullet.
Oh, dude, that's good. I wish he could come back. I would love to see him again.
He'll be back. Just give him time.
Yeah,
he needs to enjoy shit.
I mean, you can imagine he misses it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You get that itch.
That's why he's got to stay away. He's got to get his mind off stuff.
But I think he'll come back because
Obi.
Yeah, I mean,
now it's done and it's an official thing.
Like I'd be surprised if he doesn't come back, but I think he'll come back. I mean, at least for some like alumni stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Now he's huge here.
Yep.
You know, he built a winning program too.
Now he's the only coach living still from
all
the coaches.
Well, and he's about 800 wins. Is he 800?
I mean, they need
career?
to update the monuments. They need to put Bennett and Bates up there.
Yeah, we need to honor these guys.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't.
A bust, you know, or do have a Hall of Fame or those 3 coaches bust somewhere, you know, bronze or whatever, like or a movie screen where that little movie used to be able.
I don't even think they have that running. It doesn't even work.
That doesn't work.
So
they need to do something. There's too much history, not only player-wise, but coach-wise. How many programs have had that many coaches? Well, besides probably Rice or something, but
not a lot.
No,
I mean, Florida State was one off the top of my head, maybe.
Yeah, but with almost 1,000 wins each coach.
Yeah.
I mean, what's 1,200 wins for who? Biden or Bennett?
Bennett had like
13
80 something.
I don't know. I
don't know. I just played that video the other night.
Unreal. I mean, hey, it's a great program to run, and I'd like to see Obi here for 25, 30
that's
years.
That's it, dude. That's it. And that's what they have in him. They have a guy that's
absolutely.
He won't leave.
No, hell no. And he's going to be committed to this program. And like I told him, I said, hey, once my kids are older, I'm going to come coach for you. And he says no still. But I'm like, I'm going to come here, man. I'm going to do something with you. So we'll see. I hope he stays long just like those previous 3. It'll be a good thing to see.
No, that'd be great. That'd be great. Again, man, I appreciate this. Maybe we'll have to another follow-up, get some more guys in here. But episode 200, I appreciate everybody that listens, downloads, subscribes. It does. It means a lot. It's not easy. It's been a lot of work these 4 years, but Chad and I have had fun doing it, and I'm just glad a lot of people enjoy it, and it's nice to get those messages from people that do, and again, we appreciate it. That's another episode, HIT.OR.DIE Podcast. HIT.OR.DIE.